Having social media too young is creates bad habits.
TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram are just some of the social media platforms that Quebec Premier François Legault is eyeing for potential age restrictions. Legault says he's open to taking major steps to limit children's social media use, citing concerns about their impact on young people's mental health.
Social media is great. It empowers us. It gives us access to seeing a lot of things, but I think a lot of children, they're not mature enough to handle some of this. And then, of course, cyberbullying is a major issue.
At the CAQ's General Convention meeting on Saturday, Legault described social media platforms as virtual pushers and compared them to addictive substances. Discussions about implementing age restrictions emerged when the party's youth wing suggested banning social media access for those under the age of 16.
I think that it's important to teach your children at home what they need to, where they need to go and what they need to do. I think social media is a mirror of our society.
Earlier this month, Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon, the leader of the Parti Québécois, suggested the idea of imposing digital restrictions for those under 15, but Legault was quick to dismiss it. Neuroscientist Emma Durden is happy Quebec is now considering placing age limits. As her research shows, children using social media are more at risk of anxiety or depression.
This is completely unregulated content in most cases. So unlike video games or television, which has to undergo some type of editing, they can often be exposed to inappropriate content or violent content. And this is associated with a big stress response.
In some places like France and Florida, there are already age restrictions put in place for social media. But one clinical psychologist says this kind of potential legislation is too simplistic and unworkable.
I think they don't have influence in terms of people being able to put in false ages so that they can bypass these age limits, and trying to teenagers can find, I would imagine, social media outlets that won't follow Quebec law.
Instead, Dr. Perry Adler says the focus should be on education.
Yeah, so critical thought would include things like just questioning the validity of what's being said, and to say, well, how else can that be interpreted, or how else can that be viewed?
Legault's office tells City News that it will engage in discussions with opposition parties to establish a special commission aimed at studying the impact of social media on children. However, no deadline has been set.
Reality is you can't restrict them. You know, they will get their hands on these things. They will have access to it. So I would support her use of it, especially if that's what her peers are doing. But I would like to be able to, at least monitor some of it.
In Montreal, Sweet Arasi, City News.